What's on, ladies and gentlemen? My name's Ross, I like games, and today it's time we had a little bit of a chat about some news, including... Yeah, it turns out BT8 is coming, ladies and gentlemen. BT8 is coming, it is on the way, and this really shouldn't surprise anyone at this stage. I mean, obviously BT8 is going to be coming. Why would it not be, ladies and gentlemen? Why would it not? Now, apparently it is called New Hero, and it is being released on November the 26th. And we don't know a huge amount about it, but we do have a couple of bullet points, so let's see what we know. Now, the translations here are from the lovely folks over at Ensan Gaming, who are pretty gosh darned awesome. And the first thing is that it introduces dual color cards. And we don't know exactly what this means. Because remember, we've seen a bunch of, well, what could be considered to be dual color cards in the past. Let's take the Megadramon from BT6. Well, Megadramon from BT6 can digivolve from either a red or a black. And on your turn is also treated as a black Digimon. Now, that is not truly a dual color card, let's be clear. I should mention our translation proxies here come from the lovely folks over at digimoncard.dev. It's not really a dual-coloured card, but it's pretty gosh darn close. Now, the reason it's not really a dual-coloured card is because, for instance, in the breeding area, it will only be considered as a red Digimon, etc., etc. But generally speaking, it's pretty gosh darn close. And we've seen a bunch of Digimon along those lines. So when this is telling us they're going to introduce dual color cards, I'm kind of interested here. Now, presumably it's basically like Megadramon, but properly like Megadramon, i.e. it is not a red Digimon that can digivolve from red or black, and is also counted as a black Digimon on your turn, blah, blah, blah. It is a red and black Digimon that is in every way possible a red Digimon, and in every way possible a black Digimon. That seems like a pretty sensible suggestion. Now, it also says that cards are going to relate to Digimon Adventure 2, so if you're a fan of Digimon Adventure 2, wonderful news, and if you're not, well, okay then. Digimon Adventure 2 was according to Wikipedia, the second anime series in the Digimon franchise, and it aired in Japan from April 2000 to March 2001. It was licensed in North America by Saban Entertainment and aired from August 19th, 2000 to May 19th, 2001 as the second season of Digimon Digital Monsters. There we go. So there's a poster up on the screen here, and essentially, if you're interested in the kind of Digimon and Tamers that were prevalent in that series, you're probably going to be pretty happy with this. And if you're not, I'm sorry, there'll probably be some cool mechanics. It does also say that it introduces Armor Evolution and the Tamers from the series. So again, we've just got stuff along those lines going on, which sounds honestly really kind of cool. And the third and final point here is that it is going to have collection-style cards, which it seems to be, the translation rolling around seems to be that there are going to be a bunch of alternate art cards. But the thing is, we get a bunch of alternate art cards in basically every set. So if they're then going to go ahead and tell us specifically that there are, according to digimoncard-wiki.com, abundant parallel specifications stimulate collection motivation, basically it seems like they're putting in extra alternate arts to try and get us collecting more. The thing is, it's not like we're hurting for alternate arts. We've got plenty. In BT7, there are 18 alternate art cards. That's quite a lot, ladies and gentlemen. Bearing in mind, over here, we have a pretty strict ratio, which is 2 secret rares / alternate arts per box. Generally speaking, most boxes tend to have like 1 alternate art, maybe 2 if you're lucky. So if you're now telling me that not only are there going to be, one or maybe two per box, but they're also going to be, more than 18 of them. Because again, if there were just 18 like normal, it wouldn't be worth putting as a talking point. These are the talking points which are released to try and get us excited about the set. Well, if there were the regular amount, well, that's not exactly a talking point. Hey guys, come buy a new set. It's got the same number of alternate arts we usually have. And this really comes down to whether you're a hardcore collector or a casual collector or just a player. Because if you're just a player, you're not going to care about all these alternate arts. It's not going to matter. If you are a casual collector, you're going to probably feel a little bit sad here because it's going to be a nightmare. Like when I'm collecting, I want to get one of every card, but I've given up on the alternate arts. I will at some point pick up all the secret rares, I'm sure, and promos, it really depends what they are, where they're given out, etc. But all the super rares and below, I am collecting, and a bunch of the secret rares, and like I say, I'll probably collect them at some point. But I've given up on the alternate arts because I don't have the money to actually go about finishing all of these alternate arts. It's just not in me. I can't do it. So casual collectors are getting hurt here. Players, again, they're really not going to care that much. For hardcore collectors, and I know not everyone's going to agree with me, and that's absolutely fine, but for hardcore collectors, this is arguably a good thing. Because, you see, it makes it more sought after. Like, if you're a hardcore collector, what you really want is to get a collection which is better than other people's. If things are super easy to collect, they're not really that fun to collect, because everyone can do it, and it's just a little bit uninspiring. If, however, everyone is struggling to collect them because there are so many, then the few hardcore collectors that are able to go ahead and actually complete the collection, that is going to be awesome for them. And I know that's kind of weird, but I hope I'm making my argument rather nicely there. It's weird if I'm honest with you, ladies and gentlemen, but it's also kind of cool. And that's essentially what we know about the set right now. There's going to be proper dual color cards, it's going to be themed after Digimon Adventure 2, and there's going to be a bunch of alternate arts, and it is releasing on Friday the 26th of November. So that, of course, then leads us with the fairly obvious question of, well, alright then, what's that done to the release schedule? Well, the thing is, when I gave you this before, I told you I was expecting it to be in November. I told you I was expecting an end of November release for this set. I called that in a previous video, and it's here. Because actually, if we look at the main sets, BT5 came out at the end of February, BT6 came out 3 months later at the end of May, BT7 came out 3 months later at the end of August, and BT8 is coming out 3 months later at the end of November. Over in Japan, Digimon have slipped into a really rather nice cadence of one main set every 3 months. And bearing in mind, we are going to be following them a few months behind, so we are going to fall into a nice regular cadence of one main set every 3 months. Now, if we update what's on the screen a little bit, it gets a little bit more screwy, because remember the EX01 came out at the end of July, and EX2 is coming out in December. And obviously, that means that EX01 is 2 months after BT6 and 1 month before BT7. And EX02 is coming out the month after BT8. This is EX2, that is the main set. So, yes, I suppose you can sit here and go, well, hang on a second. That makes things a little bit cluttered. And in a way, it does. And we actually saw EX1, it had good cards. There was a potential for it to basically be a disappointing set that was largely just kind of vanilla-y, rubbishy cards. That is not what we got, ladies and gentlemen. There are some good playable cards in EX1. So now we potentially run into the issue of, well, hang on a second, what if there's too many? And the answer is, I don't know. In terms of main sets, there's one every 3 months. I really don't think anyone can complain. One main set every 3 months seems absolutely standard. However, it's not ideal, I'll be honest with you. Uncertainly, and we do not have enough data to really start looking at patterns like this. But obviously, EX2 is 5 months after EX1, so maybe we get a main set every 3 months and an EX set every 5 months, and maybe it goes around and around like that. I don't really know is the honest answer, so hold on tight. That's what we know for now. There is one other little piece of news we need to look at, and it really is not a particularly big piece of news, but we have this lovely image for Starter Decks 9 and 10. Now, we had already previously been told that Starter Decks 9 and 10 were going to be featuring Imperial Dramon Dragon Mode and Mastermon. And now we've just got a little image here that shows just a couple of other Digimon which are going to be coming. We've got a bit of new artwork, nothing terribly exciting. We got that same release date of the 29th of October that we had before. There's no real huge information here, but it's a nice little new image, so, you know, I thought I'd share it on the end of our ST8 discussion. So there we go, ladies and gentlemen. There is a new set coming, and I, for one, am rather excited, but I would like to know how you feel about this. So let me know in the comment section, would ya? Go nuts! Be nice! And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at TheWasi. That's where we talk Digimon and a whole bunch of other card games. And please do consider checking out patreon.com/PTCG Radio, where you can support the channel, get some bonus podcasts and all kinds of fun things. But by far, the most important thing as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching Wasi Plays.